the Stones of Sunlight, and the Staff of Rain. They get the Staff of Rain by trading the Silver Harp in, and they trade those 3 to get the Rainbow Drop to get access to Charlotte Castle. And we'll explain more of this once we get through the throne room here as we are underway finally.
And while those are the plot items, there are other items that would be very nice to have for one reason or another, like Edric's armor, Edric's sword. Possibly the Death Necklace, depending on how our stats shake out.
Fantastic start here. We have wings, gold, and a magic key. So they're going to be able to get a full boat of keys to start, meaning we will see the treasury and probably what's under the castle as well. So a lot of potential here for some good times. And a town right there. Oh my. Look at this start. Neither checks the town. We are just going to go immediately to buy keys. Probably the better move here. Use the gold for what you got. And after they do that, they'll probably be looping back to the treasury. We see a save coming here from thealanheffley. Not quite sure what the play is here. Because the ability to do that kind of weird gold grind at the start, and of course it's Hawksness. Of course it's Hawksness. Well, at least if the spike tile is a good enemy to grind, they have a good spot to just wail on to get the experience they need later on. Well, treasury time. We have a harp. We have gold in the bottom left. The top left gives us the Stones of Sunlight. Oh my goodness. And the middle gives us the torch.
The treasury's loaded today.
I have seen a treasury with all 3 story items once, but that's still kind of ridiculous. Drakey is the first enemy showing up here so far, just plinking it down, no real issues. We'll have to wait and see, though, if it can pull out something surprising.
Yeah, I don't remember... Really, the only damage range I know off the top of my head is the one for Dragon Lord, so I don't really know how much strength you need to reliably damage a lot of these early enemies.
We are either in, that was Swamp South, the stairs underneath the castle, or Garen's Grave, because Amused Miniature stepped up right before being attacked by that wyvern. And thealanheffley has reached level 2, so let's see what's coming down the pipe. 13 power, 7 agility, 1 hit point, and 8 magic point. Unfortunately, no spells, though. But still, that power is going to help get the grind going here.
Oh, yes. And granted, only 1 hit point, but given that they already started with 21, they could have started with much less. That's still fine for the moment. So even having 30 HP doesn't really help you if you happen to come across like an Axe Knight or something.
It appears the Amused Miniature is indeed in Garen's Grave, which is underneath the castle. Question about thealanheffley bought keys or not. We should probably find that out pretty quickly, but doesn't go to any doors, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But that big strength, surprised Heffley's not swinging. I guess the health is an issue. We do have a town to the south in the swamp, and since it can't be Hawksness, call out now which one you think it's going to be.
Well, given that thealanheffley literally can't get to it right now, it's probably Breckenary.
That seems pretty likely, but you know what? I'm going to say, just for the sake of Heffley's sanity, in case the keys is indeed wasted, I'm going to say it's Rimmildar.
That would be really nice. Especially if there's some good stuff in the equipment shop. Because as you mentioned, there was gold in the treasury. I was kind of trying to get my stream viewing thing adjusted, so I didn't see how much gold the chest had. Was it a big one?
It was the usual, 500 to 750.
Okay.
Heffley not going for the town with 630 gold in hand. I guess just wanted to see what's out there, maybe try to get another level, maybe get a heal spell. But a wyvern comes flying out of the trees and smashes Alan down.
Yeah, every time you die, that gold... Oh, okay. So that's why thealanheffley saved it, I guess. But did he save after he leveled? Yeah, he did. Okay.
All right, some interesting plays here at work is level 2 now for the Amused Miniature. Both of our competitors sitting at 1,200 gold, and it was after the treasury was raided. So interesting here to see what's going to happen for Alan if there is a key still on hand.
Yeah, Alanheffley getting a ghost kill, very nice. Yeah, but since he saved when he was at 3 health, he's not going to be able to get that. Uh-oh, Star Wyvern with sleep, and, well, don't know about any combos, but the physical attack was more than enough to send Alanheffley back.
I gotta say the jerk birds are very real early on here.
Yeah, Drackies, Wyverns, Star Wyverns, all we need are the Magi Wyverns making their presence known.
A Druid might be killable with that strength gain. It depends on how the damage rolls
Not if it's
go.
dodging.
Yeah, not looking so good now.
And then we got another swamp.
Scorpion with 1 hit point.
Double spark over bridge.
Wow, look at that. Somebody should tell Sparkle, hey, look, it's a wyvern. Hey, look, a jerk bird also asleep, also getting a kill. Oh my goodness, wow. They are being brutal to our competitors here. Wyverns and Star Wyverns, and you know the Magi Wyvern is just sitting off somewhere, just going, soon, soon.
It would be so appropriate if that one knew sleep too.
Well, you know, it runs in the family, I suppose.
It looks like the Alanheffley is going to try and get to the town here, and ooh, he's 1 step away. Okay, it's a Draki. Okay, that's fine. Drakis are fine. He's able to make it, and it's Garenham.
And meanwhile, level 3 coming down for Amused Miniature. We have 6 power, 1 agility, 2 hit points, and 3 magic points. With spells, we have sleep and repel. Sleep could be useful for them here early on.
And we
especially with the decent power.
And in the shop in Garenham, we have Flame Sword and small Flame Sword, full plate, and small shield.
So not the full boat of items you want to see, but you get 13,000. You can get a pretty decent loadout going with the second best weapon in the game, technically the second or third best armor in the game, technically third, but has the same absorb, and the smallest of shields.
Yeah, Alanheffley going ahead and buying that small shield, so not being able to get to Garenham with the full 1,200 didn't really cost him anything, really.
We should find out pretty quick if Heffley has keys still or not. We'll have to wait and see if that warehouse gets opened up. Oh, by the way, another wyvern kill.
Yep. Wyverns are infesting the grave as well.
And this herb purchase is a good idea. When you don't have a heal spell, that's a great way to prolong your grind and just maybe get a little bit of exploration if you can find a good area to fight in.
And I know he bought a dragon scale. I did not see him equip it though.
Well, we'll have to watch for that because that will reveal whether keys are on hand for Alan.
That or when he uses an herb.
There is some beautiful Hurtmore enemies down in the grave. We've seen a wyvern, we've seen a droll magi, I believe. No, that was actually on Alan's side. But we've seen the knight. There's some stuff down there, and once Hurtmore shows up, that would be real nice.
Yeah, Alanheffley hitting level 3 rather. I was looking at the strength gain, I guess, or something.
Muse Miniature is just absolutely convinced that this can be done. Getting to those chests. Really, I don't think it's that important with the... Unless you really think the sword's there, there's not a lot that's going to help at this point.
I can appreciate making attempts at this. Because all you have to do is just be lucky with being able to run. Having sleep does help.
That is
if
true.
you can get the sleep spell off, it's an automatic it's an automatic run.
Well, there's a magician. That's infinitely killable for Muse Miniature at these points. Decides to run, though. Speaking of magicians, now we got one on Alan's side.
And he's able to put the knight to sleep. All right, so first chest, herb. Second chest, key. Third chest, herb. So
Meanwhile, we have level 4, 5, 6, 11, and 13. A pretty nice level, but no spells again. There's blue dragons on the at the first floor of the grave. My goodness.
And there's a Drakima, both hit for 42 in different ways. Looks like they have the answer.
Well, you know, it is the meaning of life, universe, and everything. So, you know, good to go.
So, given that he had opened 3 chests, the Muse Miniature could have done a gold grind, I think, but opted not to. Of course, I don't think he even saw that the town south in the swamp. So, for all he knows, the next town is way far out, and he's not going south, so he's still not gonna see it.
Yeah, that's the only reason he probably would do that. I guess he wants to maybe locate a town and then set it up again.
Right.
Kind of doing this backwards, though, if that's the case.
Kinda, yeah.
Hey, look, an enemy with sleep. That's new and interesting.
And look at Alan Heffley does not have any keys.
Well, that's a real mistake when you start with gold and you get to save a key. That is for sure. I wonder if Alan has realized this issue. Probably not. I honestly expected a restart if they would have figured that out early enough here.
I'm still wondering why he didn't equip the dragon scale. I mean, the 2 defense may not matter much now. And whoop, there's Sharlock.
Well, the big C has been located. Not just kind of to the north of Tanagil, I believe. Northeast, I think.
And yep, just swamps all over the place here. Oh, there's a cave.
Well, cave could be good for Alan if it's got a key in it. That would be very big and make up for that bit of a mistake, not getting that full boat of keys at the start.
Well, we have Radiance, so we'll be able to see what it is in short order, and it's Tablet Cave.
Well, there's a chest here. May as well check it, and you never know. It could be the sword, could be a story item, it could be an herb, it could be gold, it could be a mimic. No, those don't exist in this Dragon Warrior, thank goodness.
Nah, those don't appear until 3, I believe. And the chest there's a key.
That is a huge break for Alan Heffley. Wow, big break. My goodness.
And
2, 1, 3, 2, and we can fire it up. Hurtmore just made the scene.
And we have heal as well.
So level 5 is fantastic. Hopefully Alan can get there sooner than later. And I'm assuming Alan's just, probably going back to the start now regardless. Gets away.
I'm just hoping we find Edric's armor soon because, holy cow, the size of that swamp. I assure you, we did not have the big swamp flag on for this.
Spark over search is going down. Nothing, unfortunately, working out this time. We have another cave through the swamp here. I'm going to say it's Freebie Cave.
Well, there aren't many options left.
It's Mountain. Or the Swamp Cave.
It's Mountain.
My goodness.
Well, that's some good information. Stone men have hurt. And sleep.
Less good, yeah. And now it's just going to blink you to death.
And then he just decides, screw this, and just punches him in the face.
My monitor has suddenly shut down. You'll have to call the actual. I get this fixed.
Yeah, so while the thealanheffley does have a key, he does not have enough money to buy more. So that's an unfortunate thing there. But with that key, it looks like he might be heading back to Garenham to see what's in the back.
No, you fool! Go buy keys.
He doesn't have enough money to buy keys.
You cannot afford to give away that key. You have to hold on to it till you get enough money to buy keys. You can't do that.
Well, but either you use your key to get gold in the treasury, and then you wouldn't have a key to buy more. We have a torch. There's the sword.
Well, that will help. So good playing that. And gold, so yeah, okay. All right. Gonna have to redive that cave, which is another 90 seconds plus getting back to it, which isn't the easiest thing in the world. But more herbs can be purchased here.
And it's Jerk Cave in the back of Garenham.
So they will have to have another key on hand for that before they get ready to go into Sherlock.
But finding that sword is huge.
Mused Miniature making a bit of a play here, just in case it's an Axe Knight or maybe an Armor Knight that rolls low. There could be a chance for a Hawksness early kill, maybe get some armor.
Maybe. I mean, you have Hurtmore, I mean, might as well try it.
Speaking of Hurtmore, it's going to get level 6 off of a Wraith Knight here.
Yep.
And we are going to see
5, 2, 13, 1.
My goodness, good hit point gain. Gonna heal up here. This will give a little more leeway if it is an Armor Knight.
And it's a red dragon.
It's a red, but they got hurt, so that could be useful. I mean, not gonna kill it right now, but that's good to know.
Yeah. Though hurt doesn't seem like the most common thing on its action list. Maybe 25, maybe 50.
Hard to say without more attacks, but either way, it's still nice to have that, free turn, essentially, when you're grinding.
Yeah, but it's... Oh, and thealanheffley doesn't even see her. He just got swung at immediately. And the amused miniature finally finds Garenham, so since he does have keys, he'll be able to get that sword in short order.
So Alan's got to get back up there and get another key ASAP here for sure.
I was wondering, does I would think, I have a silly notion, but that chest in the tablet cave, does that respawn?
Yep, just like any cave that you re-enter, the chest always reappears once you've you've exited.
Okay. I don't know why I thought the tablet cave would be any different. But with Edric's sword and Hurtmore, both of our runners are about has some decent firepower moving forward. Now it's just a matter of getting stuff to defend themselves for defense.
I don't know if the shield was purchased.
He did not have enough money at the time. No.
That's what I thought. Yeah, thought it was at 80 gold.
I think it was more like 70, but yeah, he didn't have enough. And the thealanheffley finds Swamp North. Definitely putting the sleep strats to work, and try and hurt more of the stone man to death.
Don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of Hurtmore blasting, so I'm on board.
And takes him out too.
Gets it, nice,
and
big kill, doubles the experience up. My goodness.
And I believe that gives him the experience lead too. Yeah, with that just gave him the experience lead. I mean, granted, we're at level 6, it's still early, but...
Thought we were going to see a blue dragon attempt there from Amused Miniature, but it would have had to be back-to-back Hurtmores with how hard this blue dragon's hitting our unarmored racer here in Amused Miniature.
That, and I want to say blue dragons are a bit more resistant. And ooh, level 7 for Alan Heffley. 3, 1, 3, 3. Not much, but it's better than nothing.
I mean, MTI couldn't even celebrate that level, so that's pretty good.
And of course, seeing more swamp on the... Don't even know for sure if it's the second continent, because for all we know, this could all just be one. That has been happening more often in this latest version.
I wonder if Amused Miniature might get to thinking about the cave underneath the castle, Garen's Grave. Not only is there good enemies to hurt more, could set up that gold grind knowing what is in Garenham. Be probably a pretty good play to do at this point in time.
You know, the Amused Miniature makes it to level 7. Taking the experience lead back along with it. Ooh, there's another town, though. You hadn't seen this one, and it is cold.
Well, make your predictions. I think we're going to see a token. You always get excited when you see Erdrix, and then it says token. You're like, ah.
But that's the armor.
Big find there for Amused Miniature. This will take
yes.
those swamps out of the equation.
And there's the silver shield for sale. So, yeah, if there's going to be a gold grind, that's what it's going to be for.
That's a good point. The only thing they need at this point is a shield, and 14,800, not a big walk. Could get nicely set up here pretty early.
Ooh, and there's another cave. So... Oh, Swamp South. Okay, then. So I guess we're looking at one, unless the Amused Miniature already took Swamp Cave from the north to get to Cole.
And a golem. Oh boy, Hurtmore not in play, but another enemy worth 255 on a grind spot. But I gotta think that red dragon's still gonna be the better grind. Potentially.
Potentially, yes. The fact that it has hurt means it has the potential for doing less damage. Especially now that we have Edric's armor.
Amused Miniature has been trying sleep, and the Star Wyvern is having none of it. It's like, you call that sleep? That ain't sleep. This is sleep. And then there's slaughter all over the place.
Yep.
So a rather close race here at the moment. Does Alan Heffley have keys? I see keys on the tracker, but I don't think after collecting the sword from Garnham that is redove for another key.
I don't think so. If that's what he's doing, he'd be doing that right now since he's heading towards Tablet Cave.
Well, hopefully Alan remembers to do that. Get those keys. They're vitally important, as we know.
No, he's eyeing that huge bit of swamp.
Did you just try sleep on a golem?
Yes, he did.
Is that 1 out of 16, or is that one of the 1 in 256 chances?
Well, it would have to be 1 out of 16. I don't think it's... Well, the resistance being 15 out of 16, it can't be higher than that.
I believe golems can actually have like the resistance where it can't hit them at all unless it's one of those random number things.
Oh,
okay.
Pulling up. Yeah, 15 out of 16, yeah.
I mean, you could try it, but that's a heck of a call. Muse Miniature goes in the grave, collects the chest, and is now backtracking into the castle. Just got to make sure to visit the throne room and not open the gold chest until it's the 9th chest being accounted for.
And 14-0-15-4 for the Alan Heffley on level 8.
just waiting to see if this grind's going to work. So that would be 7 chests if the throne room has been seen. I can't remember if Muse Miniature died to start this whole fiasco. There's 8, potentially. Okay, we're good.
Okay, yep, we're good.
Commence the printing of money. Hey, a Magi Wyvern.
Let's see if it knows sleep.
Well, it snuck attack for a physical, so probably not, but still almost killing thealanheffley there.
But thealanheffley had the last word, and that word was heard more.
The more time thealanheffley spends in sight of this cave with a key, the more I'm just sending mental telepathy here. Go into the cave. Get a key. Please go get a key. Blue Dragon picks off the thealanheffley, sending Alan back, and meanwhile the gold printing is almost complete for the Muse Miniature, who will no doubt be jetting right over to Cole.
Hopefully he saves just in case. Yes, okay.
Probably the right call, because there is some nasty jerk birds around, as we have seen.
Oh yes.
Is Cole
better be safe than sorry and have to go through that process again.
Absolutely. Now, Cole is to the southwest, I believe, correct?
Cole was beyond Swamp Cave.
Okay, so it's a little bit of a walk here. Hopefully thealanheffley finds it sooner than later, because not having that armor will catch up with you over time.
Or, okay, it was right there, so this is one continent. Okay. So it looks like it was about southeast of start.
So pretty easy to get to. You just gotta, do that southern exploration after you go east a bit. It's there to be found. thealanheffley just gotta get there.
So it feels like the distance between the two ends of Swamp Cave is oddly short. So can't really use that as a shortcut to get anywhere, I don't think.
Minorly annoying, but it is what it is. And we've got lots of good Hurtmore enemies showing up at the moment, as we're going to see level 9 here in a second from the thealanheffley.
Alright, so power, it's 9, 13, 10, 4, and new spell, we have outside.
Well, that's some useful things. Hopefully that outside jogs Alan's memory to maybe go get a key.
Really, I think at this point, the only reason why the thealanheffley would try to get that key is to see what cave is under Tanager.
And the fact that Alan will need keys to do things.
Well, I guess well, he is already seen behind Garenham, and we know that that's where the Jerk Cave is, so he won't need that until we find Edric's Token and Staff of Rain Cave.
But I mean, you find Caitlin without a key, you can't get coordinates.
True.
Maybe you said you want to dive into the grave. There's lots of things here that are potentially at issue. Every time this blue dragon is gatekeeping like nobody's business. My goodness.
Yeah, honestly, I would, with me seeing a swamp that big, I would want no part of it. Ooh, got another town for a Muse Miniature. I don't think we had seen this one yet.
I believe not. I'm going to say Breckenridge. No, it's
There's
Rimmaldar. Look at this.
Okay. He's already got enough keys to get to this chest here. See what we have. That's another key. Wow.
The classic 1-for-2 sale. You know how businesses will have a 2-for-1 sale? Well, the guy running this inn and Rimmaldar in general have a great scam where it's a 1-for-2 sale. Not a very good deal.
No, but at least you don't have to spend instead of having to buy 2, you only have to buy 1 to replace it. Because mostly you'd be checking that chest anyway.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh man, another town.
Oh my goodness.
I think the only one left is Cantlin, isn't it? No, Breckenridge. We haven't seen that one either.
Don't worry. I've got everything wrong, so I'm going to call it. This is Cantlin.
Well, if you had it wrong before, and you're still wrong now. And I think the thealanheffley is... He was aiming towards Tablet Cave.
The golem not killing him, though. Giving another chance to get away. We have some repel action now.
He's going back into Tablet Cave.
We have some repel coming here from Amuse Miniature, so this could lead to some big encounters. Don't leave, no!
Okay then. Now I'm really wondering what his thought process is.
Alan probably just forgot that was tablet and has decided, I don't need to go in there. I've already been in here.
Yep. And those spark over bridges, we had already seen those from the other side. Those were the same ones. And we know, and I saw Amuse Miniature already checked both of them. Neither of them had anything, unfortunately.
There's that nice level 9 for the Amuse Miniature. You gotta love that level. A lot of good stats there.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, I think that's our first fun police that showed up today.
No, we've seen them before. Weren't they the trap tile in Hogsness?
Oh, of course, yes. I guess I was thinking Overworld potentially. Hey, look, the deputy follows up, but with Hurtmore in hand and that defense, Amuse Miniature should be in good shape. Here comes a mountain dive.
Yep, thealanheffley's in Mountain Cave. Let's see if what we find here.
Having some real frame rate issues at the moment with thealanheffley. Hopefully that'll clear itself up.
I think I saw Death Necklace.
I believe you were correct. I believe that was the Death Necklace in the top floor of Mountain Cave.
Oh, there's another spark over bridge.
Man, lots of those going around today. And thealanheffley is just feasting on Hurtmore coin flips at the moment. Says the commentator as the next two miss. Lands that one, though.
Hurtmore strats here.
That Stoneman's got a very few hit points left, so if Alan wakes up, should take a swing and probably get it?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Nicely done. And that brings level 10, so take it away.
2, 10, 3, 8.
Solid stat gains in the last few levels.
Oh,
Can't
yeah.
argue with that. Meanwhile, Amuse Miniature covering a lot of ground here, not seeing much of anything, but we've seen almost everything at this point.
Yeah.
The Harp Trade-In and Cantlin are two places of note, and I believe the Freebie Cave is still floating in the wind as well.
Yeah, I think those are the only things we haven't seen so far. The Stone Man takes out thealanheffley and sends him all the way back.
This chunk of the map is just absolutely empty. My goodness. And it just keeps stretching along.
Well, I saw
a bridge
but...
over there. Yeah, interesting. Well, there's a cave right there, but I think we've seen that cave previously. It's a swamp, I think.
Possibly.
Speaking of swamp, there's a cave in that one.
I think that was the other half of swamp. Yep, that was Swamp North.
All
so
right,
yeah,
then.
so I think we passed by Swamp South on the way to Swamp North. That's how close those two caves are.
So for those who may have joined us after starting here, we started with wings, gold, and a key in the throne room, which allowed Amuse Miniature to get a full set of keys. Unfortunately, thealanheffley did not purchase keys, instead just going right into the treasury. Then Alan Heffley found a magic key in that cave you can see on screen right now, which is Tablet Cave, but then used it in Garenham instead of getting keys, didn't have money to buy more keys, and has yet to find more keys in the meantime. So Alan Heffley cannot open locked doors. In the meanwhile, though, Amused Miniature picking up the Erdrick's sword around the same point from Garenham with keys, once Garenham was located, and then Cole, which is just to the southeast.
I think this is new. Yep, there's Cantlin.
And probably to the south of that is going to be, it's either Freebie or the Harp Trade-In. But yeah, the Cole is just to the southeast of the castle, and it has Erdrick's armor, which Alan Heffley has not found yet, unfortunately.
Yep. And I believe it involves going east and south and looping your way around that way, and the Alan Heffley has been adamant about taking this northwest route.
And this is an example of why Alan Heffley not having keys is a huge problem, because now Alan Heffley has to locate Rimuldar or another loose key, and then get more keys and come back here. It's really a routing issue at the moment.
Yep. He is going to get the chainmail, though, so at least he's getting something out of this.
I think Alan just realized no keys on hand.
I don't remember how many chests in the game have keys, though we have seen... We saw the one in Rimuldar, and we saw the one in Garen's Grave. I don't know if there's a third out there somewhere.
Well, Tablet Cave has one.
Oh, Tablet Cave was that, yeah. And there's the Staff of Rain Cave.
So those are the 3 chests with keys. Unfortunately for Alan Heffley, only one is not behind a locked door. So Rimuldar or that cave is the only options Alan Heffley has to get keys on board.
And he might have the same thought I initially had out, because I was wondering whether the Tablet Cave chest even spawned, or whether it was special in that regard or not.
Yes, one in Tablet, one in the Grave, and one in Rimuldar.
Which really doesn't help us either which way.
Absolutely not. Besides, if you find Rimuldar, you're buying keys anyway.
Yep. You know, the Amused Miniature finding Sharlock and Tablet Cave.
Correct, Lorgon.
And say what you will about Alan Heffley's routing, he has been taking fights, so he's been on par as far as experience goes.
Absolutely, and a bit of a risky play there, attacking that wyvern. I'm pretty sure they both know about all the sleep spells flying around in this seed, so getting away with that one, but that Hurtmore probably the better option with 50-some magic points.
And I think he's going... Is this Mountain Cave again? Yes, it is.
We're not sure how many chests Alan got. That was about the time
he only got the first one.
Issues. Only the first one, alright.
He died before getting to the second floor. The Stone Man got him. Looks like this another Stone Man might get him.
There's nothing more aggravating than a sneak attack.
Oh, of course, and this huge swamp has nothing. It's the top edge of the map.
But of course, come on, Alan, get out of there. He's asleep. What are you doing, you maniac?
Yeah, it's like, you can run while he's asleep. Or he's trying to kill it. That's why.
Well, Alan is all in on this sleeping stone man who just will not wake up, and 2 Hurtmores land in a row, and that's it. So, what do I know? Well done, Alan Heffley.
It seems silly, but if it works, it works. And there's wings. So yeah, taking out these stone men has done Alan Heffley a lot of good on the experience front.
Wonder, I guess we're going to have to wait for Heal more before they can really mess with the Red Dragon. They really can't
Yeah,
depend on
probably.
crits to take it out. I mean, it looks like it's just punching and doing a lot of damage in the process.
Well, we know the red dragons have hurt, though it doesn't seem like the most common thing that it does.
That is true, but as you said, it's probably 25% based on what we've seen. So
And
probably the
Yumi's
right
miniature
call.
has found Mountain Cave as well. And uses Radiant outside? What? But we have a level 11 on the Alan-heffley side. 6, 4, 0, 2. New spell. Looks like Hurt and Return.
I think I initially thought Amused Miniature had done what I've done in the past, where you do the wrong command and then you just don't realize you've stepped out of the cave. I have done that before. That is why I'm laughing.
But Amused Miniature has found Cantlin, does have keys, has the armor, so he doesn't have to heal himself throughout this process. Let's see what our coordinates are.
If we have them.
Now may go and search. 57 south, 32 east.
All right, then. So that doesn't... We haven't seen a cursed belt yet, I don't believe. There's a fighter's ring at the bottom of Mountain Cave. That is very vanilla.
Mm-hmm. I did not see what the two chests at the top end of that floor were, but I...
There was an herb in gold, I believe.
Okay. So, nothing of significance.
Definitely not. So this means that the token is more than likely in a search spot. We don't know that for sure at present. Not 100%.
Yeah, because we do know... We have knowledge of Hawksness is, like, right next door, actually. So... We have that, so we have the search spot there. We have our coordinates, which... Given... I sure as heck wouldn't be able to walk that. But both of our runners know where Swamp Cave is, so getting the GPS is definitely a possibility.
They might be able to walk that based on the geography that I'm recalling. It would be a bit of work, but it could be done. And with a golem in Swamp Cave and no Healmore and no Fairy Flute, that is a bit of an ask at this point in time.
True enough. But, hey, there is that chance Hawkness could have Fairy Flute. It's not a pleasant thought, but it's possible.
Or it could be that that the golem is guarding the princess that helps you find the Fairy Flute.
That would be very rude as well.
I find the randomizer does like to play those types of jokes more often than not. So Alan-heffley really needs to find coal for the armor and to find, at this point, Rimildar, or remember Tablet Cave has a key. Those keys are really holding Alan back at present.
So really the only thing that it's stopped him from doing so far is getting the coordinates.
But recall that there's excellent hurt-morable enemies down in the basement in Garen's Grave.
True. And there is that possibility that that the token could be down there at the bottom.
There is that possibility. We have not seen a cursed belt as far as I can recall, so unlikely that it's down there, but it is a possibility.
Yeah, Alan-heffley getting half plate, I believe that was. I do know he got the fighter's ring in Mountain Cave. I don't remember if he put it on though. It looks like the Amused Miniature is starting to count.
And yeah, I'm not sure that even the Dragon Scale ever got equipped. I don't think we've seen that for sure.
I'm pretty sure it hadn't. I'll have to next time he checks his stats. I'd have to check, but. I'm just wondering the whole not equipping Dragon Scale, would that be just considered a rookie mistake, or I'm not sure how what that would qualify as.
Well, I'm not too sure where both rank on SRL. I would guess a Muse Miniature ranks higher, but, you know, everyone makes mistakes, so let's see what happens here. Maybe Alan Heffley's going to get a lucky red dragon fight here. Going for sleep.
And going for hurt more, but no.
The old YOLO, and wasn't going to kill it anyway, but, you know, maybe you land one early. You never know.
Yeah, sleep's not likely, and turns out hurt is only 25%.
Yeah, that's not an enemy you want to be trying to support spell into submission.
No.
Especially since stop spell's not going to do you much good.
Yeah, because, well, even then, it's not the most likely thing to actually work. Even if it does work, it probably won't help you. Unless you get some really good RNG and it just keeps trying to use hurt.
Muse Miniature, I think, either lost count or was just taking some landmarks there.
But Alan Heffley finds coal.
This is a good find. Let's see if Alan Heffley realizes the silver shield is here as well and will set up a grind potentially if a key is ever located. Although at this point, looking at the agility, I'm not even sure what Alan Heffley is playing. No, strength hit points. What is Muse Miniature?
Both of our runners are strength HP.
I guess that's the one thing to say for Alan Heffley, running around the overworld. Like you said, keeping a good pace of experience points, still keeping a lead here at present.
Well, there's the freebie cave. And it's an herb.
Well, you steal an old man's stash and you just run out the front door. See you later, buddy.
So, given that where it was, I'm pretty sure the Amuse Miniature probably saw it. Considering it was right on the way to the next town here.
More than likely, but if it's missed, not a big deal. Level 11 coming soon for Amuse Miniature. And now we're going to see a snowman just get ripped up with the sword. A little dicey, depending on how long the guy stays asleep.
It's been cooperative.
He has had some really nice sleeping stone men. And if his Armor Knight goes down here for Amuse Miniature, this will be level 11.
Hey, yep, there's Rimmeldar.
The good news for Alan Heffley is despite struggling around with no keys and not getting, you know, the armor for a while, the experience point lead is still real.
Oh, yeah.
So good work right there. They're essentially equal at this point, except that don't think Alan Heffley's equipped the Fighter's Ring or the Dragon Scale, and there's no Dragon Scale yet for Amuse Miniature.
Well, if nothing else, we can always, whenever they check their stats, we'll know that for sure one way or the other.
Alan Heffley about to have the 1-for-2 sale. Bit of a scam, but what can you do? Meanwhile, Amuse Miniature, not sure what the plan is. Was counting, but it now seems to just kind of be wandering? Might be looking for a good spot to grind. Well, there's a metal slime in a desert tile.
Our attack power is not strong enough to do consistent damage, and they run away like they often do.
Well, there's a Spectre. That's an enemy that will go down pretty quickly for 47 experience. Alan Heffley trying for a overworld red dragon kill, but unfortunately cannot outlast the enemy. At this point, they need to get heal more. That is the huge get.
Yes, and given the nature of randomizer, it's very possible that they may not even get it until level 16.
Which means they need to find that good mid-range hurt moreable area. Maybe a desert with axe knights or green dragons. I don't think we've seen either of those yet, though. So it might be more of a Magi Wyvern, Knight, Wyvern, those types of enemies. You'll have to get up there with the 50-cent pieces instead of the dollar bills, y'all.
mean, wyverns and knights, they're not bad. It's not the same as like axe knights and whatnot, but it's not bad.
Definitely not. So, looking at this, Alan-heffley is moving back past Mountain Cave now. And there
he got
is
keys. He's getting
Catlin.
his coordinates.
Yeah. Good work for Alan-heffley here. Good. Remembered where that was and beeline there. Excellent play here. Let's see what Alan-heffley's going to do with this information.
Especially good now since he has the armor, so he's able to make his way through the barriers safely. And it looks like the Amused Miniature is making another stab at the Hawksness Red Dragon.
I see what you did there with the stab. That's pretty good.
Okay, then. I really wasn't trying, but all right, whatever works.
Well, thinking about it, they really slash more than they stab because, they're not rapiers that they're wielding.
Well, their bite attacks would be considered piercing damage.
Absolutely. So Alan-heffley trying to count, and we have the Amused Miniature going after the Red Dragon. It is hit so hard you have to hope for those hurts to get cast, but 25%, it is unlikely. Or an excellent move maybe would get you there. You could maybe brute force this if you put enough into it.
Yeah, you just have to get lucky with the Red Dragon using hurts. Once, maybe twice could be enough at their current attack level. Because their attack power at 114, that's not bad. It's not.
No, it's
not good enough for Sharlock Dive. Granted, they can't even do that right now anyway. But and it looks like the Amused Miniature is just gonna make multiple attempts at this.
I do not know why Alan-heffley is not using hurt more on this Star Wyvern.
Well, there's the hurt.
Another swing coming. This could be it right here.
That was it.
Hit.
One hurt was all he needed. And what do we have? The flute.
Well, that'll help get through the swamp cave because the golem is guarding there, so that is good. But yes, the token is on the overworld.
Yep.
Another Stone Man takedown by Alan-heffley.
Yeah, he's Alan-heffley is just having some good luck with finding these stone men and taking them out. Although this one doesn't seem to want to stay asleep for very long.
Swamp could be a grind for sure if Healmore is not showing up on level 12. And unfortunately, that Stone Man gets the best of Alan-heffley. Let's see if Amused Miniature can take down this Stone Man, because Stone Man is everywhere here. And wakes up and gets Amused Miniature to sleep. It's a battle of lullabies here, really.
Unfortunately, that furry flute's not going to do any good here. Although, apparently, in a seed I recently watched, apparently it gets some interesting text. We have level 12. 1, 3, 3, 5, no spells.
Unfortunately, no Healmore there, so probably still the same play. Get that golem, get the princess, get out of there, back to the castle, get the token, get the rainbow drop, and then decide what you're going to do for a grind.
Yep, and the Amused Miniature
is going... got breath. Ooh.
And the Amused Miniature is going for the swamp tile.
Alan-heffley's just got to start blamming those Hurtmores out. Got to stop taking these risks. There's a lot of sleep. There's a lot of Hurtmores. There's stuff you don't want to see out there. Just get the enemy out of the way. Get the experience and move on with your day. It is quite the close race right now, but it is looking good for Amused Miniature at the moment for a slight lead.
Yep, and Alan-heffley hits 12. So our stats are looking decent, but they're still not anywhere close to being ready for the end game.
Absolutely not. We're going to need to see more magic points for sure. A little bit of agility would be nice just for getting through the castle, but some people do insist agility is pointless.
Yeah, well, you say that until your defense is so low that the Dragon Lord's hitting you for like 55 or something.
Well, that silver shield does make up for some ills, though, which is nice. And Princess getting returned by the amused miniature right now.
Yeah, because even for the better counters, just 57-32, that is a bit of a walk. Even though this is a single continent, so it's not like you have to go through Swamp Cave to do it. But and it looks like the thealanheffley is going the same route, though he does not have the fairy flute to make this fight easier.
You're probably going to need a crit to get this done, I would think. Unless going to try for a lucky sleep.
Nope. Trying for a lucky hurt more. That doesn't work either.
I mean, there is hurt on this golem, so you could get the lucky attacks. It would be good to see what the golem is packing for the hurt. It might be a 50-50 based on what we're seeing here.
Oh, and it has stop spell too.
It is a pretty gimped golem. My goodness.
It looks like it's 25% stop spell, 50% hurt. Thank you, Cyberdark, for our tracker, bringing these stats up for our viewing pleasure.
So if there's a place to fill up remotely near either end of the swamp cave, that's probably the grind you're going to want to go with till Healmore shows up. Then you'd have to make a decision based on how close the castle is to Hawksnest.
Alright, miniature getting close to the spot. And I know that Swamp South was near Cole. Although I think Swamp North was near Cole too.
So thealanheffley now returning with the princess to Tanagel. Just a few steps behind here and about even on experience. This is shaping up to be a very close race despite two very divergent paths, which included keys versus no keys and armor versus no armor, favoring amused miniature in both cases.
Oh yes. But now the amused miniature has that token, is about to get his rainbow drop, and will be in grind and go.
So what are we looking for here for stats? Probably another 15 attack power.
Yep.
Another, I mean, ideally at least 22 more magic points. And, 15 or more hit points. It's always nice to have a little bit of a buffer there when the agility is a little low.
Yeah. Yeah, because even with the amused miniature having the best armor he can get, it's still, as of now, the Dragon Lord still could hit for more than 48 on a physical.
Looks like thealanheffley is cutting through the swamp cave.
Yeah, probably thinking that's a quicker way to the coordinate spot, which I believe is the case.
And his old friend the Stone Man is there to greet him.
Yep. It feels nice to see the enemy getting slept and wrecked instead of us.
I gotta think that's at least 6 to 8 stone men kills at this point for thealanheffley.
Yeah.
Really living high on the hog from the material enemy.
Yeah, that's the main thing that's kept him alive here. And the amused miniature, is he going to be taking a scouting mission into Sharlock here, seeing perhaps if this would work as a good grind spot?
You know what? Honestly, if there's Axe Knights or Green Dragons or both on the same floor, it would be the way to go.
Oh, we have golems.
As we know, golems are pretty gimped, but it's only like 50-ish% they're going to do what you want. Otherwise,
Yeah.
they're just going to punch you for a lot of damage.
Yeah, it was stop spell for 25, hurt for 50.
So Alan Heffley not that far away at this point, just needs to remember that the directions are reversed from his dearly beloved.
Right.
That golem cutting big time into the experience point lead, but that knight will extend it slightly. And another golem here for Amused Miniature. Wonder if Amused Miniature is going to realize that the golems are a good grind potentially and start to go hunt them on the spike tile in Swamp Cave. Not a perfect grind, mind you, but
No, it's not.
doable.
It's well, either that or the red dragons next door. And without heal more, once you get heal more, I think the red dragons are probably the better option.
Oh, absolutely. You can even cast, return to get out of the castle a bit quicker. Just get over there and start cutting up red dragons. Will be the way to go, but when is Healmore going to show up? That's the real question.
Use miniatures going back down into the grave? I forgot what enemies we saw down there.
We saw wyverns and knights for sure. Blue dragon is down here as well. Magician, and there is also a low tier enemy in addition to that. Maybe just diving for...
And I think Alan Heffley is going the wrong way.
I'm not sure what Amused Miniature is looking for here.
Yeah, because he's pretty much got everything. He even has the fighter's ring, so he can't be looking for that.
If he's doing this to get a dragon scale, I got news for him. He can buy that pretty much anywhere.
Yeah. Assuming that he didn't already get one and we just didn't see it.
So at this point, once the token is located by Alan Heffley, whoever comes up with the better grind is going to be the one that takes control of this race. It's still up for grabs here for both of our competitors at this point in time.
Yeah, I think Alan Heffley is getting a bit lost trying to get to the coordinate spot.
There was a critical hit for 113. That's almost a max critical for Alan Heffley.
Yeah, that Wraith Knight didn't know what hit him.
As someone who despises Wraith Knights, I can get on board with that. Looks like Amused Miniature might be going after a golem spike tile grind.
Yeah, it's possibly looking that way.
Alan Heffley's really low on resources at this point. Needs to be careful and to not get killed before getting that token.
I think he's... No, I don't think he's close to it right now.
He hasn't checked his coordinates in an awful long time. I wonder if Alan Heffley is not remembering the reversal of directions that exists. Or maybe just trying to find a spot to grind? I'm really unsure what.
Yeah, it's more of figuring out how to get. It looks like it's a bit of a winding path to get to the coordinate spot. Looks like he's getting close to there now. Because I know the search spot was next to the water.
Now, something that exists right now that's a big advantage. Amused Miniature does have the Fairy Flute, which makes the grind in Swamp Cave a little bit safer, but it does make the grind a little bit slower as well, potentially.
Yep, so Alan Heffley is on the right X coordinate.
Yep. He's there. That forest is where it was, right near the coast.
Yep.
And oh no.
Sleep. Oh dear.
Wake
Okay.
up.
Okay, he's able to get away. Using his last heal. He probably has herbs too if he really needs it. Yeah, he has 2. So one possible downside to the fairy flute strats, every time you use the fairy flute, it's what, 8 seconds that you have to spend?
It is a bit of a time expenditure. As I said, it's going to make the battles longer, probably, but it's going to make them a bit safer, which might make your magic last longer, which in the end is probably the better way to do it, ultimately. And there's the token. So Alan
There it is,
Heffley
the token.
is all ready to go now to get the rainbow drop, and then it's going to be grind time. The lead, though, has been yielded to Amused Miniature, who is expanding it right now with these golem kills.
Yeah, well, that's mostly because Alan Heffley was focusing more on getting to the coordinate point, so he was actually running away from fights.
It's understandable. It's so hard to pass up some of those enemies when they're just jumping out in front of you.
So the Alan Heffley does know where the rainbow drop is. So from there, it's just a matter of grinding for levels, and we'll see if maybe he wants to at least get a large shield, if nothing else, if not the silver.
I think at this point, probably just going to grind and figure the stats are going to come.
Well, they would have to eventually, right?
What I mean is setting up that grind might be a bit of a pain at this point. Bit of a time expenditure. It's one of those, you think the agility is going to stay low the whole way. So this grind is paying dividends for Amused Miniature while the rainbow drop is being picked up by the Alan Heffley. Let's see what Alan Heffley does. About 1,000 experience points behind right now with another golem being chopped up by the Amused Miniature. And it appears Alan Heffley's going to head for Sherlock. I think is what's happening here.
That I agree. I want to at least open it up, see what's there.
Golem
and looking at the stats,
down.
I can confirm that he has not equipped the dragon scale. But he does have the ring on.
Okay, ring equipped, scale not. Good to know. And the golem did take Amused Miniature down there with 3 heal mores. They don't have heal more. 28 magic points still remaining. And now I guess deciding I'm going to pound into the red dragon with my 101 hit points and figure I can damage race. And again, hoping for a hurt might get you through, of course.
Oh, I didn't even see that he had gotten a level, so it looked like it was 7 to 16-2. Okay.
And no
extra
spell.
attack power definitely helps.
Absolutely, that's a word.
So at least it looks like unless you get unlucky rolls, you can win the DPS race against a red dragon. You just have to make sure to heal up between fights.
Alan Heffley has a fizzled hurt more on the Star Wyvern, then puts him to sleep and then slaughters him.
Oof.
That is brutal.
Yep, lost the DPS race against that red dragon.
So it might come down to who's just feeling the luckiest here. Alan Heffley is likely going back to Sherlock.
Or not.
Oh, maybe gonna head back to the swamp cave now, try to take out some golems.
Maybe.
Meanwhile, Amused Miniature continue to pound away here and get back to the red dragons. And hey, it's Alan Heffley's old friend from college, the Stone Man.
The Stone Man has been visiting quite often, it seems.
Absolutely. And you know what him and Alan Heffley and the Stoneman used to do? Used to rock out. Rock out. Chat better boo that, because even I want to boo that.
I think I'm just too nice for that. So now heavily getting to level 13. So our HP is looking passable so at the moment. Attack power is getting up there. It's just we need more magic. I think that's probably the biggest thing we need at the moment. But
Definitely
we have level 14.
Biggest
12,
deficiency is magic.
3,
Ooh, that power.
30.
30 hit points. It's go time.
And there's our heal more. Okay.
Go time might be a little generous here because only 8 heal mores. That's the issue we're looking at.
Yeah.
It's tough. I think 11 to 22 on a death necklace. Oh, hi. Thank you. Hi, Ruffalos. That's what I was just thinking. That's like a 16 average, roughly. That's like 10 attacks. I don't think it's enough. I think you got to go at least one more level. You need some more magic. 9 heal mores if you're going to death necklace, I think is the minimum to really feel confident it's going to work.
Yeah, like our magic is just real. It feels weird seeing MP being this low at this stage of things.
But Humor landing in was really quite nice,
Oh, yeah.
so that's going to help a lot.
Ooh, and with heal more than your occasional excellent move. Definitely, having the 134 attack power is definitely by itself is just going to make these Red Dragon fights a lot easier. Because if he was winning the DPS race before, he's very much beating it now.
Oh yeah, that power gain raised everything by what, 3? Actually, the floor by 1 or 2, but I think the max by 3, so that's gonna help.
And it looks like the Alan Heffley is opting for the Stoneman grind here. It had been working for him before. Why not continue it?
I mean, it's not the worst thing, but it's just not getting it done like it is working for the Muse Miniature here.
Right.
With that hit point gain, and Alan maybe thinking of Red Dragons would have helped, but I gotta tell you, Muse Miniature's grind has definitely been better and is showing with this huge experience gap that's opened up.
Not to mention, he just 2-shot a Red Dragon.
Casual 2 shots, no big deal.
So, yeah, just...
He's
killing the Red Dragons faster than the Alan Heffley's killing the Stoneman, and each fight is giving him more experience. So that experience gap is just widening and widening and widening.
And here's
we have level 15. So let's see what we got. 4, 14, 7,
nice.
2.
Nice.
There's our last spell.
There's 71 magic points. So.
Yeah, that Magic MP is the only thing standing in our way at this point. This is silly.
So the attack power is 138. If you don't use the Death Necklace, you're talking about a 9 to 19 range. That is 14 is your average. You roll average, you'll need 10 or 11 shots to kill the Dragon Lord. With doubles, that's probably going to work with the hit points. You have 8 heal mores available. It would be dicey, but it's winnable on 15. Is Miniature going to dive it?
So this whole venture is contingent on keeping all of your MP to the very end.
Absolutely. Maybe it's one of those you grind up. Well, probably grinding one up and then just getting a level on the way down. That doesn't help your magic points. So, if nothing else, the
the golems in the first floor, you can get past them easily with the fairy flute. You can just put him to sleep and run. But we haven't seen the other two zones in Charlock, so who knows what kind of stuff this castle is packing today.
Charlock can be coming at you with a whimper, or it can be gale force winds. You never quite know what's going to be waiting for you if you don't have that information ahead of time. The top floor is really not that bad, other than the fact golems are in here.
And then we have the Star Wyverns, too.
But they are,
It looks like they've been damage broken, though.
if they're not, they're close. So
But
they
that one
roll
hit
it
for
up.
4. If that's not damage broken, what is?
No, you're absolutely fighting your way down. You'd have to be extremely picky if you're doing this. Well, there was Radiant, so that's leaving 1 heal along with the herbs on hand for the Amused Miniature on this dive. Werewolf blocking and throwing up some DL2 breath.
Oof.
Hey, a green dragon. I believe that's the first one we've seen.
At least thanks to Edric's armor, we can heal as we walk. So taking 1 DL2 breath along the way isn't catastrophic.
And werewolves aren't going to block you twice, probably. Not with 78 agility. You'd think. Now onto the diamond floor. And there's a werewolf waiting with the hands outstretched.
So one thing I'm noticing on the thealanheffley side, he's been maintaining the repel spell going. So I think the stone men are pretty much the only things he's actually encountering. So that's not a bad strategy.
Star Wyverns are also breaking through that repel, but I believe that's it in the immediate area. Amused Miniature making quick dive here, now into this bit of a windy floor, but not too big of a floor. And we've got a green dragon followed by a golem. Stone Man putting thealanheffley to sleep over there. Trying to be a jerk, waking up finally, the thealanheffley, deciding to fight. Not enough to kill the Stone Man, and back to sleep.
Yeah, but Stone Man's using hurt, and that's good for us.
And the thealanheffley does take down the Stone Man. As we are into the barracks, as I like to call it, because I find there's a lot of axe and armor knights in here more often than not, but it's a Stone Man. Probably along with the Wyvern and the Magi Wyvern, the Star Wyvern, the real mascot of the sea. Those are your gold, silver, and bronze monsters that have just been everywhere.
Yeah. And the Amused Miniature passing by the armory, there's really nothing there that we need. And there, hello, Red Dragon.
Deciding to fight it. Interesting choice, I guess.
It's probably more reliable than trying to run from it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not completely opposed to it. Just got to make sure to heal after the battle with, you got 1 heal spell available and any of the herbs that are still stacked up in the inventory.
Yeah, when you can kill it in 2, maybe 3 hits, it's probably just more reliable to kill the thing as opposed to trying to run.
A sneak attack sleep here from a Star Wyvern, but they aren't throwing as much damage as they were before, so
No.
it's not going to get Amused Miniature in trouble.
We still have the mini boss trap tile here. So we'll see what we have to contend with there.
Now, for those who are wondering if Amused Miniature is like a lock to win this, absolutely not at this point in time. But we'll try to heal walk. A bit of an interesting choice when you have herbs available. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Amused Miniature, though, I believe is going to do this without Death Necklace and just hope for doubles to try to get by with this low amount of magic points. Only 8 heal mores available at the moment with their max magic points.
And especially with the red dragons that he's killing them, it's probably good to just use an herb or 2 and then just go in just so you can get the trap tile out of the way.
I think had enough of almost dying, and it's a golem. Another 255 experience points will be forced upon Muse Miniature.
Yeah. And, you know, the thealanheffley just hits 14.
I wonder if a Muse Miniature might consider going for it. It's 5 golems. It's a sizable ask, but that would get you to 16. Wouldn't give you the magic points, but might boost you in some other areas that would help make this a little better. Nah, just going right for the Dragon Lord.
Yep, and I was going to posit the thought of using Death Necklace to boost his attack power even more, but it looks like he's not going there.
I gotta think with the lack of heal mores available, I think going for the doubles is actually the way to go.
Yeah, probably. So we have, I believe it's a 9 to 19 range for this fight.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, the Death Necklace is a possibility. I'm more of the thought that you can get doubles with that much hit points available. Especially if you're, you know, he knocks you down to 45 and you heal more. You're probably going to double no matter what.
11, 27.
But you can make arguments for both sides of this, using and not using.
742.
Looks like thealanheffley is heading into Sharlock here.
60. 71.
Problem, of course, being those
85.
fire breath attacks. They have been pretty consistent, still getting
90.
a double with 2 fire breaths. Wow.
95. 108. 120.
And meanwhile, thealanheffley almost to the search spot to get to the stairs.
138.
Oh, that roll was big.
This is gonna be close.
I think amusement.
156.
Oh, big get. So yeah, I think this is it. I don't think you can roll low enough.
Yep, 174. We're good. Got some high rolls at the end, and that made all the difference.
Back to back to back 18s. So get your GGs out. Amuse Miniature is going to take this. That's 162 hit points for the Dragon Lord. A high hit point Dragon Lord. My goodness.
Yep, and with that, the Amuse Miniature has finished first place with an official SRL time of 122.59. GG.
Yeah, that was almost three max rolls to finish. So yeah, I can see the argument for the Death Necklace there. But GG's indeed. Amuse Miniature wins the race, moving to 1 and 2, and meaning unfortunately for the thealanheffley will not be making the knockout stages, dropping to 0 and 3. But hopefully that best of the rest race that has been thrown out there will be a thing, because I would love to see a mass race for anyone who doesn't make the knockout stages to have a ridiculous SRL fun time.
I'm curious if such a race does happen. I wonder if they will be doing flag shenanigans on that.
Well, I think if they're going to do it, they should make it a full sprint. Very fast leveling, speed hacks, fast text. Keys aren't, you don't need keys, short Sharlock. You should do the whole sprint. Make the thing last like 30 minutes. It'd be hilarious.
And it looks like the Amused Miniature will be joining us in a moment.
Full speed chaos? Come on, they already missed the knockouts. Don't kick them while they're down. That's not very nice. I'm probably going to be one of those people. Don't make me play chaos.
If If anything, I wouldn't mess with the enemy stats. I would mess with the enemy XP and gold rewards, if anything.
So I'm not sure. Are we getting a post game with Muse Miniature?
Yeah, he said he's gonna get some water. He'll be back in a bit.
Excellent. Well, meanwhile, Alan Heffley is diving into Sharlock, and a Star Wyvern is trolling with a run block and a sleep. The Star Wyverns have been brutal to Alan Heffley on this scene.
And we have the amused miniature in the booth. GG.
Thank you so much, Melee. And I definitely agree, those Star Wyverns can go die in a hole.
Oh, the Jerkbirds were absolutely, as we were discussing who the three mascots would be, the gold, silver, and bronze. The Wyvern and the Star Wyvern are somewhere on that podium.
Well, the Wyverns weren't too bad for me. I failed to sleep early on, but after that, once I ran into them, I already had the sword and a ton of attack power. So the regular Wyverns weren't really an issue. I was a little worried when I saw that werewolves had Dragonlord Bleth, but they're class 2 enemy. So I wasn't too terribly worried about it after that. And then obviously there's always reds on the bottom floor of Sharlock.
Of course there is, but you were just slaughtering your way through them. It was a good strategy, honestly, given their penchant for hurt and stop spell. Their hurt was, I believe, 50%, stop spell 25%, so they were pretty gimped.
Yeah, they definitely were pretty gimped. I kind of noticed that early on in the scene when I first checked out Hawksness, and I had written down in my notes that they had the hurt spell, which is what kind of led me to that early check of Hawksness. I was like, okay, if the token's not in Hawksness, I know that I gotta go get the princess, because I did try to count earlier on, but I knew that it had to be on that patch of land that was way out in the middle of nowhere, so I just didn't want to waste a whole bunch of time with that.
And
yeah, it was a bit of a weird looping path to the coordinates. Alan Heffley had a bit of an issue with that too.
Yeah, I was actually going to say that was probably where the race really broke open for you, that you got there so quickly, and Alan Heffley did not. And while he was getting there, you were working golems over in the Swamp Cave, and his about 300 experience point lead turned into almost a 3,000 experience point gap in like the shortest order. You were just slaughtering golems like mad. It was a great play.
Yeah, I'm usually not a huge fan of stone mending golem grinds, just because of the fact that they have so much HP. But I knew that Hawksness wasn't going to be super good, just because it was going to be kind of rough with the red dragons. I wasn't going to be dealing as much damage, so I knew that wasn't really going to be as much of a play. And then so I was like, okay, let's go kill some golems. Let's see what the next level has. And then I saw the next level came with plenty of HP, and it was like, okay, we should probably move over to reds now. We're pretty guaranteed to survive at least one of them.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, after that last death in Sharlock, the Alan Heffley has forfeited.
I mean, I can't blame Alan. Those Star Wyverns were just jerk birding at an extraordinary level. It'd be enough to make anyone just want to put the old dot forfeit in there.
Yeah, and it looked interesting because you guys had a lot of disparate paths. Because like you found Cole relatively early. It took a while before Alan Heffley went in that direction because he was going up towards Sharlock for a good while. And even despite all of that, he was almost stride for stride with you on experience, pretty much up until you started your main grind.
Well, the craziest thing was that Alan Heffley had to start with wings, keys, and gold, used the wings, but then went and used the key on the treasury without buying more keys. So it was without keys as well. So a long time of no keys. Went into Tablet Cave, found the key, but didn't have money to buy more keys. So went to Garrett'em, got the sword before you did, and then went the longest time without keys, the longest time without the armor, and kept waiting for you to take the lead. But Alan Heffley kept picking off Stoneman and just kept the experience lead going. It was the craziest divergent path race. It was really neat to see how it all went. But in the end, it showed through that you just getting to the more efficient grind was the big change. It was impressive, though, how well Alan Heffley did to keep that lead the whole way, experience-wise.
Yeah, absolutely. I've raced against Alan Heffley probably like 3 or 4 times now, and I think this is the first time that I've actually beaten him in a race, so I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. The big thing for me with grinding is that I'd seen red dragons crawling around, I'd seen armored knights once or twice, things of that nature on the overworld, so I was going to try to do that first, and then I was running into stuff that just really wasn't worth the time, so that's what really just kind of pushed me back to the spike tile. Is like, first of all, it's not guaranteed encounter every other step, and then on top of that, I'm running into enemies that are worth like 12 experience. So let's go elsewhere.
So I apologize if this had been brought up while I was distracted, but how are you feeling about your MP throughout this whole scene? Because it was kind of lacking for the most part.
I definitely agree that the MP was really lacking. I found myself thinking about, okay, I got to route in. I need to go to a town, and I need to restore my MP and things like that. And I think that attributed a lot to my line of thinking in terms of my practice seeds that I've been doing, because I've had tons of MP on a lot of my practice seeds, and so it was kind of interesting to be put into kind of a different scenario. And so the big thing that I was thinking about when I was going to check the coordinates at first, because I had an abysmal amount of MP left, I think I only had like 13 or something, and so I was like, okay, well, let's go try to count the coordinates on the way. We'll stop in Cole and go grab the inn. And I got to the point where I was right outside of Cole, and I was like, okay, it's 32 east. Okay, I was starting to think that it was probably on that secondary space, but I wasn't 100% positive. And I ended up like 2 steps away from the 32 east, and then it just went right down into that mountain zone. So I just ended up noping out of that and using what little MP I had left to get back to the coordinates, because everything that was over there on that side had relatively low agility. But I was definitely thinking the whole time, okay, I'm headed to this location. Where is the nearest town to this location? So big shout out to you guys as well. 8 a.m. is quite a time to do a race, so we definitely appreciate the restream.
Yeah, shout outs to the restreamers, the trackers, to MeleeWizard for commentating. For myself, this is after work. I work graveyard, so I'm like, oh, I can do this, no problem.
Yeah, my work hours are... My work hours put a lot of these randomizers to shame, so... yeah, I'm just glad I'm able to do this as often as I am.
And I'm actually quite happy with how many races I've been able to call in the last few weeks. So many races out there. If you think, you guys think you can do a good job yourselves, by all means, volunteer on the Discord. We have 32 races, 32 races a week right now to get covered. And, that's a lot of commentating. You can only stretch Burgundy and Game Boy and up to NG, Melee, myself. Who else am I missing? So many. Hangry Canuck, Smashy. So many people do commentating, but it's always good to have a bigger pool so that people aren't stretched too thin.
Yep, the commentating, tracking, restreaming, none of this would be possible without all these wonderful volunteers.
So I don't know how many races are left here. This is week 3. Amuse Miniature moving to 1 and 2, staying alive with a chance for the knockouts. Alan Heffley will be eliminated from contention for the knockouts with this defeat. And yeah, we're up to Friday morning here, so there's probably only, if I had to guess, 6 races, maybe 8 left at most in week 3.
Yep. Looking up the schedule, there are actually 10 races left this week.
Nice.
We have 2 of them later on tonight. At 8 o'clock, we have Much Paranoia versus CD Improv. And at 10 o'clock, we have Demarine 2 versus the Hangry Canuck, all times Eastern. Looks like it's slated to be right here on Randomania, but I don't see a restreamer on the list as of yet, so we'll see how all that pans out.
So we have 2 races tonight scheduled at the moment. That means there's still another 8 to get done by Sunday at some point.
And
So
7 of them are on Sunday. That's going to be, well, one of them's not going to be restreamed, but 6 races restreamed over the course of Sunday. That's going to be a busy day.
Get your popcorn ready. There's going to be a lot of races on Sunday. My goodness.
So before we cut off for the day, I do have one question, because the location that I won't say struggled to find, because everything was pretty friendly in terms of location. Did Alan Heffley find Cantlin before I did?
I believe he did, but he did not have keys at the time.
That is correct. Yes.
So you did get the coordinates before he did.
Okay, yeah, that was the one thing that was in the back of my head as all these locations started coming into view, and I was like, oh, this is so close to the castle, I must be super far behind. So,
well, you know what's really funny?
He did find the castle first, and saw Mountain Cave and Tablet Cave and all that. He did get there before you did, but
Alan Heffley
you taking the southern route, finding the armor first, that definitely was an advantage to you.
Yeah, but Alan Heffley never actually did Hawksness. Just went straight to Swamp Cave and got the princess. So skip the fairy flute.
yeah, and I can't blame him for that. I mean, the Reds were pretty gimped, but I mean, they're still a difficult enemy to defeat without Healmore. And this was one of those seeds where the level was there. We were just waiting for Healmore. So I can't really say that I blame him there.
But I have to say,
it was wasn't it a golem in the Swamp Cave though?
You know, in the Swamp Cave, but Alan Heffley never went and did Hawksness with the Red Dragon.
Oh, right. Yeah,
so by skipping that, it was good. It kept Alan Heffley kind of in the race, but taking so long to find the coordinate spot allowed Amuse Miniature to make use of the fairy flute. Slower grind by using it, but a safer grind and just knocking golems out left and right. Just busted the race wide open. That was your TSN turning point, if you will. It was a good scene.
That, and Alan Heffley didn't actually use the trap tile for grinding. He was grinding stonemen on the overworlds while you were doing your grind.
Oh, and also Amuse Miniature, if you're going to watch this race back later on, I suggest you do, and just watch Alan Heffley just try to bust as many stonemen in the mouth as possible. He was living on stonemen for most of this race. It was pretty amusing.
Well, that's definitely something that I look forward to watching back for sure. But I closed last night, so it's a little early in the morning for me. So I'm probably going to head out for the evening or for the day and go get some sleep, seeing as how I work a graveyard tonight. So I'll talk to you guys later. Once again, Tilo, Melee, brisulph, I really appreciate you guys coming together, and you guys have a good day.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And I hear you. I got a graveyard myself, so I should get some sleep. Thank you for being here, all the viewers. Melee, thanks for keeping me company and myself keeping company for you and enjoying this race of week 3 of Dragon Warrior Randomizer Summer Tournament.